Hello, I am showing my presentation on adult learning for backwards design. So it's by Mari Anderson. So backwards design can be implemented at a college level by planning the curriculum through making learning outcomes and goals, and designing an assessment, and be able to demonstrate their learning. They also have sometimes adults at this age aren't as great as retaining the information from just a textbook or listening. They actually need to be like kinesthetic learning, such as hands-on, to be able to understand like what is happening. I really like this quote. It's important to move beyond traditional lecture methods, as they do adequately develop the skills adults need to succeed. It isn't until the goals and evaluation methods are determined that designers begin planning learning experiences and instruction aligned to assess the learner-centered process, which creates stronger connections between overarching goals and details of learning activities. So I think being able to know what skills and goals they need to learn helps, and be able to plan a curriculum around it and be able to have successful learners. Okay. So then backwards design is kind of broken up into 3 stages: identifying desired results, determine acceptable evidence, and plan learning activities. So students should decide what they should know, and by the end of the unit, they either get an assignment to design a project of their choosing, and then also being able to read and also write also helps the students. I like this quote. It says, to craft these objects, consider the unpacking the standard by breaking it down into specific concepts and levels of rigor required for mastery. So by breaking it down into simpler goals, like SMART goals, you're able to better define the learning for the adult. Okay. So design principles. So like I kind of mentioned before, having clear goals, using SMART goals to outline what students should achieve by the end of class, really knowing what your aim, what you're going to get out of, what the students are going to get out of the class. Then consistently organizing your thoughts in modules, not just having it be scattered or unorganized. It needs to be direct and clear what you are going to be teaching. And then manageable segments, kind of instead of just covering the whole topic, break it into little pieces and talk about each section, and make it so it's not easy to digest. I like the quote, requires careful management and coordination of various elements within the learning environment. Intended learning outcomes, assessment strategies, and teaching and learning activities should be purposely connected. So it's not just coming up with ideas, it's also making sure it's what you want the students to learn from your class, and being able to guide those goals. All right. So I really liked experiential learning theory. Experiential learning is somewhat similar to backwards design, because both approaches need hands-on experience, and they also need to be involved instead of just passively learning. They are also designed to like test your knowledge and see what you know. So you can also accommodate that by like giving them like auditory, visual, reading and writing, and kinesthetic learning. I like this quote. It says, a primary consideration for the change centered by ensuring comprehensive coverage of the learning materials and confirming the students to achieve the course learning objectives. Faculty members initially face challenges in integrating assessment of content, knowledge, and practical application, referring to evaluate memorize concepts separately from their application. Following the study, they acknowledged the advantages of transitioning from traditional assessments such as midterms to project-based assignments to better demonstrate students' abilities to apply their learning. So I really like this because professors are learning that like just because you have a written essay or a multiple choice test at the end isn't always the best way to assess somebody's learning. Having a place where they can demonstrate a project may in fact be a better way to evaluate their understanding. So let me go back. Let's see here. Okay, so adult learning versus backwards design. So there are 4 ways to that adults can learn: visual learning, auditory learning, reading and writing, and kinesthetic. So these 4 directives help learners tackle how to best learn. But I really like the backwards learning design because it uses a lot of the four different learning styles. So identify a desired outcome. That could be assessing different methods of having students demonstrate what they know. So like a slideshow or a creative artwork or like a diorama. And then having determined acceptable evidence, being able to have like models or students' comprehension of what they're learning really helps. And then plan learning activities, design and engage. Like that's really where they use hands-on learning experiences to help them understand what the concepts mean. And I like this quote. Individual differences are unique characteristics or traits in respect of which individuals may show differ from each other. And I really like that because not everybody learns the same way. There's very many different traits that humans and adults have, and it's just best from what they learn. How to teach them is how we best serve them. Let's see here. And then I just have my reference page, and those are what I have.